Now more than ever, people in our church and in our community are increasingly falling on hard times. As a church, we want to meet some basic physical needs practically for anyone who's connected to our church or living locally. So we've set aside £4,000 in our church budget for our Love Fund for the year 2020 to 2021 to try and help meet some of these needs. Initially during lockdown, we've been using this to stock up our food bank, which has been a temporary way of supporting vulnerable people who either can't get to the shops or are struggling financially by delivering parcels of food and essential items to residents local to us. But once lockdowns ended, we hope to be able to end our food bank, but still to provide some one-off emergency food shops where needed, but also to top up household bills and to provide essential furniture where that's necessary. We see this as an important part of our mission as a church. Isaiah 58 says this: "Is not this the kind of fasting I have chosen, to loose the chains of injustice and untie the cords of the yoke, to set the oppressed free and break every yoke? Is it not to share your food with the hungry and to provide the poor wanderer with shelter, when you see the naked to clothe them, and not to turn away from your own flesh and blood? Then your light will break forth like the dawn, and your healing will quickly appear. Then your righteousness will go before you, and the glory of the Lord will be your rear guard. Then you will call, and the Lord will answer. You will cry for help, and he will say, 'Here am I.'"
Well, we know that £4,000 just isn't really going to cut it. It's not going to go very far. It can provide maybe some temporary fixes or a bit of relief for a few people around us, and we hope that it does do that. But really, we want to offer more than that for people. At first, we will just, with no strings attached, no questions asked, freely give to people from our food bank and other things, and share with and support them. But we also want to, as a church, seek to engage people relationally, to connect with them and to build friendship with them. And we think that's a really valuable and really important thing to do. So we can maybe support them over the long run to find support and help and maybe changing their lives that can be beneficial for them. But also, and more importantly, that we can have an opportunity to share with them the great news about Jesus Christ, who he is and what he's done. Jesus said this: "What good will it be for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit their soul?" Guys, we have so much more to offer people than some money and some food and some practical support. We have Jesus Christ, the one who comes and transforms and changes our souls.
We need you to be involved in the lives of your neighbours, community groups and local community, so that you can see and respond to the needs that are there. This is something we have to think creatively about at the moment, but particularly when we go back to our normal and relational capacity gets filled up very quickly. Secondly, if you do see a need that you'd like to meet, please get in touch with one of the Love Fund investment team. That's myself, David, Johnny Richards or Stephen, so we can check whether this is a need we can meet. Thirdly, we'd like you to continue serving our food bank, and we are going to be potentially changing how this runs as restrictions alter, but we're still going to need food donations, deliveries and potentially one-off food shops. So if you can help with any of those ways, let us know. And finally, we need people to keep in touch with those we delivered to. We need to check whether they need any further support, but also to show a deeper care and concern for them. So if you feel that you have the time to make phone calls on behalf of the church and reach out to people in this way, please let us know.
But we can't do this work alone. We need God to give us a desire to help those in need. We need him to supply our resources. We need him to connect us with those who he is calling to himself. And we need him to change people's hearts. We've been enjoying some really encouraging times of daily prayer throughout this period, in which we've been able to regularly pray for individual needs within our community. As the national situation changes, there may be some changes to the way we pray together as a church. However, we are still committed to praying together as a church regularly, so keep an eye out for how we will continue to do this. We will update you through community groups and other usual communication channels. Please also pray alone, pray in your households, pray in your community groups, for all the work God is doing through his church. Thank you so much for the support you have given already, financially, practically and through prayer. We are so encouraged by your partnership with us in this, and we're excited to see how God will use our small offerings to produce fruit and build his kingdom in the centre of Birmingham.